Hey guys, had a bit of a technical problem. I forgot to hit record when we recorded this the other night. So Katie and I are now re-recording our chat GPT training, but such is life. We're teaching tech and we've had massive tech issues. That's just hilarious, honestly. Um, but right, today we're going to be talking to you about ChatGPT and how it can actually enhance and just change your business. I feel like Katie and I have been talking about this for a little while behind the scenes, but also been using it behind the scenes without realizing each other have been using it. And then when we started talking about it, we were like, oh my God, yes, this literally is a game changer for your business. And I feel like if, for those of you especially that are working full time, for those of you that find that you haven't got time necessarily to do it all, ChatGPT could be something that you could apply in your business and it could absolutely make things fly. In my opinion, the world is going into a very AI, technology, robotic world, and you've got two choices. We can either embrace it and learn about it, or we run away from it and we're scared. So this is what this is all about, is really to give you a little boost and to give you a little bit of excitement around your business. I also think if you can use this in the right way, it can be a game changer for your Scentsy business.
I think that people are nervous to use AI. Personally, that's what I think. Like when they hear the term AI, they're like, "Is that going to breach my security stuff? Is it going to impact on like if I tell it too much information? Is it all going to get back to another country? Are they spies? All this kind of stuff." But to be fair, with GPT, I know you said that you've created an account, but my one's not got an account. So you can actually have a free account and just ask it questions without setting up any information. But AI is literally there to enhance what you are doing. So like if you're having like a moment where you're like, I just can't think what to put, like you're having a brain fog moment, it's that it will enhance what you're doing. And I think that quite often people think that AI is, you're going to sound really robotic. And it's like, but actually, it all depends on what you put into that question, what you put into what you're asking is all about the description and what you're putting in. So the more personal and the more you give it, the better outcomes you will have. And it will start to learn your way of communicating, your style, and who you are as well.
100%. So if you've not used it before, it's like a website app. You can download it as an app onto your phone. As I say, I have set up an account, but it is a free account. I don't pay for it or anything, but I have got an account. And you can create threads where you ask it questions and it will give you answers. It basically, I don't know how it works. It's so bloody clever. It searches the whole internet, basically scours the internet, and it pulls all of the information that you need, and it literally will list the information. For example, you could ask it to create a sales post for coconut lemongrass, for example. That was one of the first things I think I did with it. And it told me, like the scent description, gave me ways I could market it, different images that I could find to use for it. It's very, very clever. So it literally can be used in any way that you need it for. Like Katie said, if you're having one of those moments where you just can't think about like what do I want to advertise today? Like what do I want to how do I want to use it? It can be there in the background. It's like your office admin person. When you're having one of those moments and you're like, I need like that little person to help me. AI is going to be there for you. ChatGPT can literally be that. And it's so clever the way you can use it in terms of that you can create threads, you can teach it about you, you can teach it about your personality, how you want it to sound, and it will create emails, it will create posts, it will create messages, whatever you want it to do, it will do. Recipes, it will literally find anything. It's very, very clever. Very clever.
And you can use it in your personal life, your work life as well. Like I've used it across multiple things, including Scentsy, personal stuff. Like I've even got it to write me like a full speech for my sister's hen do based on the fact that the theme was like air hostess theme, and it's so clever, and it's literally you will get the response in seconds. Like you can't even believe it will say, yeah, here we go, here's a thought for you, and it will just start reeling out all of this information. And it is only as good as the information you put in. So if you put in one line, you're going to get a robotic generic response. Like that is what you will get. But if you give it something heartfelt, and actually you can put like we've already said, you can put your personal element to it. So the other day we were writing letters to our future self for as part of Squad Acceleration, and I put a whole massive piece of information in there, like all of my stuff and how I feel and what I think I will say to myself in 6 months' time. And it just says what you want it to say. With like you like it when it produces it, you're like, that is exactly what I wanted to say. Great, I'm going to copy and paste that. And if there's anything in there that is a little bit different to what you'd say, so it might use something really corny, some corny language or something like that, just say that's a bit too cringy to me. So I will always reply back to the chat and say, no, that's not me, make it a little bit more genuine, or make it a little bit more softer, or not as cringy, stuff like that. If you actually talk back to it, it will then reword what it's already said in the way that you've asked it to. So it can be really, really useful in personal and Scentsy life. And literally, from coming from someone who's working full time right now, ChatGPT makes my life so much easier. In terms of, when I get an idea about Tenner Tuesday, or I get an idea about International Women's Day treat bags and things like that, I will just put a few bits and pieces, pointers in, and it will create the whole document, the whole wording around it. I think like when you do six packs, like how many times back in the day would you have sat there writing out the scent descriptions for every single wax bar that you're going to put in your six packs and stuff like that? If you just tell it the title of your wax bar and say, I want you to write the scent descriptions and put emojis in, it will create that for you. So it's easy to read. And I guess the best thing is as well, it's about grammar, spelling, and things like that, which you've said has helped you, haven't you, Lisa, in like your emails and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's definitely helped me because you know what my typos are like. So
Yeah.
shall I, if I just share my screen, I'll show you guys how it works because I think that's important. Please don't judge my desktop because it is a little bit like crazy compared to my normal one. So this is what it looks like. If you haven't seen this before, really, really simple. Okay, it's not crazy. I think if you actually like pay for a plan, I think you can give your chat GPT a name and all sorts. I think you can actually change it so you can give it a name. I haven't done that. I haven't called. You've got a name for yours, haven't you, Katie? What do you call it?
Well, my one would just be Mr. Chat. But
Chat.
yeah. But some other people said that they call it Alex, Bob, all
Also,
sorts of things. So yeah.
so how it works really simply is you can ask it anything. Now, these are all the things that I've been asking ChatGPT over the last year. You can see that I've been using this for a lot of 2024 and into 2025, more so recently. But these are all things that I have asked. And some of these things you might be looking and thinking, actually, look, I used it in 2023 as well. So I've been using it for a while, but really starting to teach it about who I am in the last probably year, or the last probably sort of 4 or 5 months, because I want it to sound like me, but I also want it to make my life a little bit easier. For example, let's just say this was something I did yesterday, but I will redo this. So say I wanted it to write an email for me for the launch of the new Scentsy catalogue, for example. Or actually, we've got Harry Potter launching tonight. So let's just use that as an example. So I could ask, please, can you write me an email for the launch of the new Harry Potter warmer collection launching tonight with Scentsy. Please, this is a bit where I make it personal. Please, can you make it sound like me? Add a little sass and some emojis. Make it fun. Okay, I'm making it sound human. I've spelt Scentsy wrong. There we go. But he understands. He's very clever. So here's my email that it has just created for me. I now can use this email to send out to all of my Harry Potter fans tonight. Now this is probably not quite right. Brand new Hogwarts housewarmers. I have got to change this ever so slightly, but you get the idea. Look, set your alarms, grab your butterbeer, and get ready to shop. How clever is that? It literally is finding all of the information. And you can tweak that slightly. It's giving you everything that you need, including you can see the emojis there. We've got a little bit of sass in there because it's quite fun. It's not very like basic and very generic. Whereas if I went back to probably when I very first started using ChatGPT and actually looked at this, um, it's very, it was very bland, very, very. But a lot of that is to do with, look, I am making Scentsy wax bags with wax for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. What can I call the bags? It's a very, can you write me? It's something completely different. Ignore that. Um,
Fashion and leggings.
yeah, that was another business idea that I had. But there's always a different business idea in here. ChatGPT is very helpful, but you can use it for lots of different things. For example, this was a Tenner Tuesday example post that um I popped into here that I wanted to do. And it's all about the wording, and you can see I've even put things like this is good. Can we make it shorter? Can we make it a little bit more human? You've got to be the one that prompts it in the right way. The more, as Katie said at the beginning, the more detail that you give it, the more you teach it about you. I have been teaching GPT that I am 41, that I'm a mum of three boys. It knows if I was to ask it to write something for me specifically, it could do that because I have been prompting my chat for a little while now. And you guys can all do that for your Scentsy business. Okay. You can do it for your Scentsy business. The more you use it and the more you teach it, no, I don't want it to sound like that. Or yes, I love that idea, but can we make it sound more like me, for example, by, applying it to my target audience? If you know who your target market are, for example, ChatGPT can help you to create the perfect content for your target audience, whether that be for social media, whether that be for selling in an email, whether that be a post, whether it be messaging. It can come up with, you name it, everything. It's very, very clever. So there are lots of things you can use it for in your business.
Yeah, and if you don't want a robotic post, don't ask it a robotic question. Like that is basically as simple as it is. It's so, so clever. Like I used it the other day. It was International Women's Day on Saturday, and I really wanted to use the opportunity to talk about joint opportunities, and I think that's so important. And for me particularly, supporting women and gaining confidence and stuff. So I gave it a little bit of a brief of how my team is made up and the fact that we're Katie Scentsy Queens and what that is, and the message it produced was just like, oh my God, because I gave it a bit more information. I gave it something a little bit different. I said that some of my team were full-time mums. I said that some of my team worked full-time, that they were some were doing for a distraction, some wanted financial freedom, like, and the way it kind of like put everything together was really, really clever. So yeah, using it for joint opportunities, thinking about your customer pages. So if you say at the beginning of your question what your target audience is, a bit like what Lisa said, if you say, I'm putting this on my wider social media, or I'm putting this on my customer Facebook page, or you actually tell it where you're going to be posting, and it kind of also tailors it to that audience too.
It's very clever like that. You got to think as well, like I know some of you guys are like working full-time jobs, so you want to save yourself some time. ChatGPT could be the perfect thing to help you schedule your posts. Literally, simply, you could ask it to schedule you 2 sales posts a day for various different products using your Scentsy website. You could give it the Scentsy website even so it can look at your website and analyze your website and say, I want 2 posts a day that sound like me for a whole week. And then you can sit and schedule those on a Sunday evening. And then you could add in your lifestyle posts. You can add in your real life stuff amongst that. And you know that you've covered your sales type posts, if you like. And at least then, if you've got a really busy week at work, you haven't got to stress about posting in your customer group. You're showing up there already because, ChatGPT has done the hard work. It's going to alleviate you more time to do the follow-up, send the follow-up messages. Again, ChatGPT can help you write the follow-up message if you don't know what to send. Sending an email, ChatGPT can help you write the email if you don't know what to send. The one thing it's not going to take away, it's not going to find you new customers, and it's not going to make the connections for you. Yes, it can create the content for you, but you're going to have to be the one that actually takes the action, makes the connections, makes the customer connections, and make sure that you're really reaching out to people. Really, that's your job, not ChatGPT's.
Yeah, I do think that ChatGPT enables you to have that time. So if time is precious and you are literally trying to fit Scentsy in around all the other things that you're doing, ChatGPT can literally make your life really efficient in terms of you're not sitting there writing and trying to create these posts. You can spend the time talking to your customers, getting to know your customers, talking to your team, building relationships. That's what this business is about. And ChatGPT, and that's what we're trying to say, is this is there to help you, and take and just help you with time, really, and gives you ideas. So if you're having a bit of a brain fog, like this week, I was like, what can I have as my weekly income producing tasks for Scentsy? And it kind of came up with some things that I'd never even thought of. So I'm definitely going to take those forward this week, put them in my planner, because I just couldn't think this week, what am I going to do? So it just really gave me some really good ideas to structure my week, really.
And one of the other things it can really do for you is this is like the biggest thing with our type of product is about the fact that stories and solutions sell. So if you are struggling to be like, okay, I really want to sell this, I really want to sell fan products because that's what I'm working on the bingo right now, but I don't really know where to start, you can put that into ChatGPT and say, okay, chat, we sell a product called a Scentsy wall fan diffuser. Can you come up with some solutions? Like what solutions would this be really good for my customers, and word it in a way that could make people feel like they need it. It's a story. There's a story behind it. You ask it the right prompts, you're going to get really good type of answers. And when you start to get those answers and it starts to tell the story and the solutions, and when you start to make sales from that, that's where you're going to see the benefit of it, because you're suddenly going to be like, oh my God, it actually works. It's allowing people to find those solutions. And sometimes we struggle with that. Like I could sit here all day and I'm like, yeah, dog mums, boy mums, they need all the Scentsy because, but what about, the solutions for the other products we sell, instant fragrance, why people might want instant fragrance. What's the solution behind that? ChatGPT can literally be your best friend, literally.
Didn't you get some you had some good outcomes, didn't you, from emails that you sent the other day? Didn't you have some PRV come through off the back of some emails you sent?
Yeah, so I used ChatGPT for two types of emails. One was a squad email. Some of you guys might have noticed that it didn't have no typos in. It had some pretty emojis. That was ChatGPT helping me out. But yes, I use ChatGPT regularly now for emails. I try and send out one email a week, and I now know that I used to spend ages trying to write my emails, making them all look pretty, and it took me ages. But now I don't find that. I find now that I can whiz an email together through a lot quicker, so I don't put off doing it for starters. And yeah, I found just through regular emailing, I've had a massive boost in my PRV. I think I had I can't even remember how much PRV. It was probably about 100 PRV off of the back of an email the other week that went out to 2,000 people on the new catalogue. And that was all like new six packs coming in, new items coming in. And yeah, and those, do you know when you don't realize at the time, you think, oh, it's a random PWS order, but you go back in and look at your analytics of your email, you can see it's come off of the back. And I have noticed the chat GPT emails have a higher turnover rate of sales compared to my basic Joe Blogs, very basic like email. And it does work. So they're very good at like targeting it to your customers if you prompt it the right way. That's the key.
Yeah, and it's all about working smarter, not harder. That's what someone said yesterday, wasn't it?
think
Smarter,
so.
not
It is
harder.
because at the end of the day, it's going to take away a lot of the pressure and mean that you're not going to have to. I think so many people right now we've all taken everybody's got so much going on, whether it's returning to work or you've returned to work and your sense of business has had to take a bit of a back burner, kids that are needing attention left, right, and center. Of course, we want to be able to do all of those things and still have a business that's thriving. So jumping into AI is going to allow that to happen for lots of people because it literally can save so much time. And one of the other suggestions I did give was, quite often we see copy and pasted posts all over the internet, right? I see it all the time on Facebook. People that have taken a post that a leader has written, copied and pasted it, rather than copy and pasting it. And this was a really good idea. You could put that post that you think that's brilliant. Love that post that Katie's just written. Copy the post rather than just copy and pasting it. Add it into Chat GPT and ask it to rewrite it and make it sound like you. And you've taken inspiration from somebody else, but made that post now sound completely different. Post it on your profile. Make sure you delete the bit that says this is from Chat GPT, or I've seen that before where people actually post a post and it says, and if you'd like chat to come up with more options, delete that bit, guys. You don't want that on your emails that you send out.
Absolutely not.
It's not in copy and pasting. You're using some as inspiration. Chat is still going to be very quick. Chat GPT is going to literally find you a result like
Yeah.
that.
Just
So
be mindful of some of the American terminology, like favorite without a U or organization with a Z. It's just little things like that once you become, pretty familiar with the app, you'll realize what words. It's just like changing a word. And one thing which we didn't mention is it can actually help you structure documents that you might be creating. So I was putting together a Scentsy sort of my own brochure, I guess, for people who are into interior design and how home fragrance can like enhance their homes and things like that. And so I told it the brief and said, can you put together a structured like document that I can use? And it came up with page one, this is what you could put, page two, this is what you could put, page three. And it actually made so much sense. And I was able to then put that into my own. Yes, I had to do the work around creating the document on Canva, and that's absolutely fine. But I printed it out. It gave me all the ideas that I wanted to use, and I was able to then just tick it off that sheet and just be like, yeah, I'll put that in. So it just gives you some structure and gives you different ideas, really, because it literally uses billions and billions of pieces of information from the internet. And how many years have we had the internet around? So there's just so much information, and it just soaks it up into one and pops it out. So yeah,
it's
it's
very,
good.
very clever. And I do think, guys, we've got to get involved with it. You're seeing, I don't know, every time I log into a new app, I'm seeing that little button that says AI. It seems to be everywhere right now. I think I'm trying to think what I downloaded the other day, and I was like, oh my God, that's even got AI on it. I think when I set up my new phone, Siri has always been there, but really this is just that next step on, isn't it? I can't think what it was that I was setting up, and I was like, wow, I'm really surprised that that's now even got AI. It might have even been on Safari, maybe. I don't know. But even when you're doing your Google searches now on your phone, you're probably noticing the first chunk of text that's coming up is actually like AI generated technology. It's not just Wikipedia anymore. It used to be Wikipedia always, always.
Yes, it did. You're right.
And it's not anymore, it's AI. So we've got to embrace it a little bit. We've got to, because I feel like businesses will be moving forward from it. And if you don't start using it, we will get left behind. And realistically, this isn't here to scare people. It's actually here to enhance and to help your business. And I hope take the pressure off some of you guys and make you feel happier about posting on social media again. Or, I use it to come up with all my reels ideas, all my hooks, all my captions. It even tells me what directive, where to put my camera, where to walk in the room. It's very, very clever. If you haven't used it, ask it to create you like reels for your Scentsy ideal avatar, and it will do that for you. It will help you like work out who your target audience is. Because they say if you're not selling, you can't sell to everyone. You've got to sell to that one person, and it will be a game changer. Something I'm learning about. More trainings come on that anyway. That's
Yeah.
another
No, I
training.
don't think. I think that's. I think we've pretty much covered most of it, and I think just as long as you understand it's a support tool and it's reminding you that it is not there to replace those relationships that you're building, and yeah, just have fun with it. I guess play around with it, start to build that up and test it and see how it works for you. I did post a thread on Scent Squad last night, which you can comment on, put some ideas, and some people have come forward and said how much it's helped them with doing some joint posts and some opportunity posts. So yeah, play around with it, see how it works for you, and we would absolutely love to hear more about how you've used it to support your business, really.
Definitely. I love it. All right. Thanks, guys. Gonna love you and leave you and stop the recording there.